Welcome to the 5-Week Linguist Show. If you want to learn a language or you teach a language, you've come to the right place. Join Janina each week for tips, resources, and advice for making engaging language learning happen anytime, anywhere.
Student-centered activities during remote learning to learn languages. I wanted to share a few student-centered activities that I love as a learner and as a teacher to share with you. And I hope you find them helpful. They're a really positive thing, I think, that can come out of all of this, which I know it's really difficult to find positive things with all the suffering and so many bad things happening. At least from a teaching perspective, is to really create some engaging activities that are student-centered that can help students independently study languages successfully when they're done with school. So this first one I just wanted to share with you. It's called La Vie. It's a YouTube channel, obviously, and they have lots of real-life videos from France, real-life shows, etc. They play lots of trailers. This is great language immersion. You really see it. It's all French lives, La Vie, life in French. And it's one example. So there are so many that we could use, but using something like YouTube that has free access, of course, you're going to have to vet some of these things to give students a really immersive experience. You know, they can watch, they can write a summary, find something that really interests them. And is school appropriate, of course, but the idea rings true. We have the Ultimate Language Learning Lab online. I really love language immersion. So technically, language immersion, of course, you're learning something, incomprehensible input in another language. So you're learning content. And of course, the language is how the medium, how this is being delivered. And one of my very favorite activities for Spanish is to do something that involves TPR, so total physical response. YouTube is a great resource for salsa, sevillanas, merengue, lots of dance lessons. But this is a really fun one that a friend introduced to me some years ago called Batuca. And so this is great brain breaks if you're in your physical classroom, or students can spend some time doing this. You can send them the link on Google Meet.
Doble y stop. Le añadimos unos brazos típicos del reggaetón hacia adentro. Practica 2 veces más. Step. Junto. Y marchamos. Las marchas son abiertas. Y serán una, doble. Una, doble. ¿Repites? El brazo contrario se estira. Vamos. Estiro, doble. Estiro, doble. Una más. La última.
Love it. Really engaging and fun. This, of course, just one example of so many. You could learn how to play the guitar. You could learn history through watching documentaries. You could watch current events, news, if that interests you. You could learn cooking in French. There's so many possibilities, but I absolutely love it. Journals. So Fluency journals. I'm a huge fan of Fluency journals. I do these as regularly as I can. This is great for independent language learners, and this is a great time to assign something student-centered to your class. So basically, students, you would give them tasks to write about, and they would actually have to physically write it. You could have them do it on a Google Doc. I personally don't like to do that, especially when we're doing distance learning. I like to do it as an independent learner for a couple of reasons. The Google Docs I'll talk about in a second. Basically, you give them a topic, family, weather, something, and you set a timer and they write. And you can give students a few prompts for a week for them to do whatever you're studying. And I'd have them handwrite it, and maybe they can send you a picture of it. If that's not possible, Google Docs works. But of course, Google Docs, you have the danger of the Google Translate, which is a feature I really like when I do journaling because I can look up words, but I'm there to learn for sure. So I'm not using it as a crutch. I'm using it as a tool. So consider that, of course. But it's really powerful, the fluency journals, because you're going to write just for a short focused period of time. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about errors. They can actually turn these into you at some point. They can maybe once a month scan the pages. A similar idea for your perhaps more artistic kids would be to draw, doodles and drawing. So I'm a terrible artist. I'm not particularly artistic. And I have terrible handwriting. But I have a lot of kids that are wonderfully artistic. They're wonderfully talented. And I don't worry about the fact that I'm not talented at art. I still do these activities. This is another way to use journals that's really fun and student-centered. They can put their feet up, be away from the computer. Pick whatever vocabulary set you're doing. I have here a salad, which of course would be food. You can do a buffet table. You can do a person made of food. You can do where you live, likes and dislikes, aliens, gardens, whatever fits into whatever you're doing. And students are going to draw and label everything you can. And then they can write about themselves. So for example, I might write about my face or what I look like. And I would write a paragraph about myself. This is a great activity that's very student-centered and really enjoyable. I really enjoy doing them, even though I'm not artistic. I'm not very good at all. Vision boards. I absolutely love vision boards. And I think regardless of whether you're spiritual or not, this is a great activity, really engaging, really fun to do. There's lots of apps that make great vision boards, but traditional cutout magazines, I love to do this the first day back in January because everyone's tired. Cut out pictures, have them ready to go. They can copy, cut and paste. And then in your target language, they can write about it. It becomes a prompt. You can talk about your wishes for the new year, your dreams for the future. The possibilities are endless here. I like to use it to do goal setting, use the subjunctive. I teach Spanish, use a future tense, or for more beginning learners, it can be a matter of, find 20 things you want to see in your future, and they actually have to handwrite and label those. Or as you see here on this example, there is nice labels that they've done on the computer. But a change of pace activity away from the computer would be my choice one for students, and choice two could be if they enjoy the computer. There are lots of apps that can make these. I also wanted to show you a sort of spoken version of a fluency journal, and that's recording for fluency. I talk about that in another presentation, but I wanted to share with you just an example of what that looks like. I'm going to share with you just about 30 seconds. Every week I do a recording and I talk about what I've been doing that week for my 5 weeks. So I like to change up my language learning every 5 weeks. I keep it really simple. It's only intense during the summer because I don't have time during the school year. A lot of times my language learning is on my commute or in the morning or something that fits my walk, my cleaning, something that fits into my life realistically because I'm busy. As passionate as I am about languages, I really don't have that much time to study, but I like keeping it in my life for all kinds of reasons. And so on this particular 5-week stint, I did binge watching on Netflix in French. I watched lots and lots of French. So I recorded myself every week and I talked about what I did. So here's just a short sample.
Je viens de terminer la 4e semaine de regarder beaucoup de vidéos. J'ai terminé beaucoup de vidéos sur Yabla et aussi j'ai continué avec.
So, just a quick example. Obviously, my topic wasn't particularly exciting. I'm sharing it with you. It's a little bit embarrassing. As you can hear, I'm not a C2 advanced high speaker of French, but I can speak French. And that's one way I was able to do that, was by recording myself really regularly. And you can assign focused recording projects as well for your students. Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my very favorite tools for learning and teaching languages. And right now, during remote learning, it is absolutely invaluable. And I'm just going to share with you a few ways for you to use this. The first way is it's a search engine. So Pinterest is one of the biggest search engines. So whatever you want to look for, let's just look French distance learning. I mean, there's so many activities there, and these bloggers are pinning to Pinterest to share them. Anything you want to find. Let's see. Spanish remote learning. Let's check it out. Look at this. It's amazing. People are here sharing. Your colleagues are out here sharing. So it's a great, great, great resource. Doing group projects. One way I love to use Pinterest is to do group projects. And right now we have to get really creative with our projects for obvious reasons. So depending on what your rules are, you can make a group board. So let's just create a group board. Name it whatever. And you can invite people to this, your students. And you might pick something like my dream wardrobe. That's been one of my favorites. I had a group of Pinterest lovers one year, and we did this project. It was really fun. And they had to plan a certain number of wardrobes. I think we did 4 seasons and 4 different outfits for those seasons. And they went way above and beyond. And they had to not just find these things from Spanish stores in the Spanish speaking world, they had to caption them, and then they all commented on each other. So of course we kept student identity private. Your district probably has something that allows students to do online activities. Of course, follow the guidance from your district. But it was such a fun activity, and it couldn't be a more useful way to engage authentically in language and culture than right now when we're remote. Planning with group boards. Let's just type in Spanish teacher group boards. So there are a lot of teachers out there who are happy to share what they're doing. You can get classroom tours, you can get already made lesson plans, links to things like Teachers Pay Teachers, specific lessons that can really make your life a whole lot easier. Another way you can use Pinterest right now, I don't know about you, but I'm finding without my commute, I have a little bit more time on my hands, and I definitely want to try to make the most of it. And I've done some professional development. I did a couple of courses so far on the weekends to try to learn a bit more about tech so I can be more helpful to my students, my colleagues, and just know a little bit more in general and get my recertification hours out of the way. But you can find, again, because this is a search engine, tons of resources. So I'm typing in professional development for language teachers. Oh, I put 3 S's. I didn't mean to do that. And look at all these hashtags and blogs. And my best professional development oftentimes comes from the independent study and polyglot community. The polyglot community is this passionate group of language enthusiasts online, and a lot of them have learned their languages almost completely online, and they share apps and resources and word lists. They get together every year at something called the Polyglot Conference. They've met in Japan and in Iceland, and I think they're going to Mexico this year, is planned at this point anyway. But these people they are highly motivated, and I know that doesn't oftentimes describe necessarily our audience, but they have some really good takeaways that translate beautifully into the classroom. So I definitely try to learn from them. And one of the most important lessons that you can get, I think, or resources from Pinterest is self-care. So I just want to share with you, essential oils. I love essential oils, and I'm constantly finding resources for essential oil diffuser mixes, and I love them. I found ones that are energizing for my classroom. I found things for spring, summer, winter, fall, different moods, different times of the day, different days of the week. It's been absolutely amazing, but it doesn't just stop there. I mean, you can look up anything that you love, recipes, yoga, clothes, home organization ideas. There's so many great ideas to help you take care of yourself. And I can't tell you how important that is. I know as teachers, we give so much, and we spend so much time trying to make the best experiences for our students. A lot of us are just natural. We care about other people and we want to help. And we spend a lot of time doing things, creating lessons, going over things, organizing things. And I think sometimes we just naturally, we always have so much to do. We put ourselves last. And if there's anything that we can do for ourselves, it's take care of ourselves. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, it's really hard to be at our best and to take care of others.
Thank you for listening to the 5-Week Linguist Show with Janina Klimas. Join us each week here and visit us at reallifelanguage.com/reallifelanguageblog for more resources for learning and teaching languages.